So, what do you guys call an act like this? The Democrats.
Like the aristocrats.
Yeah. Yep.
Hell yeah,
like
dog.
the famous aristocrats joke. The vile one, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another exciting episode of Left Unread. And folks, I was right. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Although I would say really only directionally right, because I did not think that this was going to be an absolute fucking historic beating.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that if you listen back to either of our predictions, neither one of us was like, it's gonna be a fucking barn burner.
Yeah, we both hedged.
Yeah, we hedged pretty hard. Like, I was like, I think she'll do it, but also like maybe not. Like, and you were kind of in the same boat, and like I don't think either one of us saw Kamala getting fucking blown out.
Dude.
And I know that a lot of like Democrats are trying to rehab that and be like, well, the numbers are, as the votes roll in, the number. No, it's bad. It was bad.
She lost the popular vote.
Every swing state, she lost the popular vote by millions of votes. Like,
she turned states that aren't really swing states into swing states. Like, dude, like Virginia was close.
Yeah, and to be fair, I don't even think it's 100% on her, right? I think that her team was a bunch of fucking grifting morons.
Well, she puts them there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
That's the team that she put together.
She chose poorly.
I will say, so basically since Joe Biden got elected in 2020, and they did that bait and switch with the $2,000 checks.
Yeah.
If everybody will remember that. They said that they would send us $2,000 checks if Warnock and Ossoff got elected in Georgia. They did, against all odds. And then immediately they said, actually, we're only sending you $1,400 because you already got $600. This was like the COVID stimulus. And since then, I think I have been of the mind that not only will Donald Trump get the nomination for the 2024 election again, but that he would win.
Although, they didn't make with the bread and circus, dude.
No.
If you tell us we're getting 3 loaves and you send us 2 loaves...
Because we already had one in the house.
We're gonna right? No, well, we've taken a census, and we know that the average American actually already has bread at home, so we're factoring that in.
We're factoring the existing bread into our bread giveaway.
And then the circus that we get is just like, we're giving you a month of free Netflix. It's like, what? I want to go to the fucking Hippodrome.
Yeah.
I want to see the fucking Reds or whatever, the Greens.
The Blues and the Greens, baby.
Yeah, dude. Like, what is this dog shit about tuning into Jake Paul, Mike Tyson in 2 weeks?
Yeah.
I don't want that.
Although I will be tuning.
I'm absolutely going to watch that. It sounds so stupid, and the whole thing, but I'm legitimately captivated by it because I think if it's a real fight, I think there's a good shot that Mike Tyson could still. I don't think he could be like the heavyweight champion still, but I think he could make a serious run.
Jake Paul.
I think he could kill Jake Paul with his bare hands. Have you watched the tape of Mike training?
He is fucking shredded out of his mind.
He is still in like the top 0.01% of most horrifying individuals on the planet. Like at 55 or whatever, he's still easily one of the most like obnoxiously scary people you've ever.
Yeah,
Except now he's like really chill, so his interviews are just like, I'm actually very nervous for this young man. I think there's a good chance I might do irreparable harm. Like, it's just like, okay, fuck, dude. Like,
yeah, I mean, Mike Tyson has always had the scariest trash talk. Like, shit, the famous one where he says he's gonna fuck the guy until he loves him and then calls him the F slur.
My favorite, which is from, it might be from that same press conference. I forget who he was gonna fight. It's some dude that, like, he ended up taking apart in the first round. Like,
I mean, that was like
he
did that a lot.
This dude is like, Mike, you're this, you're that, and Mike is just like, I don't know why you talk to me like that when you know I'll kill you for it.
I'd also say, you come in and you come ready. You understand? Because I'm going to come ready. You understand?
Okay.
Okay, you know that.
I don't know why you talk to me like that when you know I'll kill you for it.
That's what I like about you, Mike. You talk tough. Mike Tyson is Mike Tyson. He's an ignorant little kid, you know what I mean? And he's going to be like that. I don't want to bring myself down to his level, so I don't really even want to cherish that thought. I'm going to go in there and we're going to fight, and that's the bottom line.
Oh, man, I can't wait till the 28th. I'm going to make you my girlfriend.
Hey, let me tell you something, you. Hey. You know something? I'm not even going to dignify that with a hand. So you know why I'm not dignify that with a hand? So because I'm going to bring myself down to your level. There's something you can't buy in that class, and you don't got none of that.
You're sweet. I'm going to make sure you kiss me good with those big lips.
Like, it's just like, whoa, dude. Like, I'm just gonna throw some Mike Tyson in here.
Yeah,
he's the freakiest dude of all time.
Oh, absolutely.
Like prison talk. Like, he would
Yeah.
engage in like filthy prison talk with people. It was and then do it.
And then knock guys out in 10 seconds. Like the best fighters on earth, the best heavyweights on earth, and he would just fucking uppercut, left hook, done.
Yeah.
Like,
a spooky guy. But it was what was cool about him, and what still is cool about him, he's like learned how to control himself, and he obviously had his run-ins with the law. I'm not going to take some like hyper pro Mike Tyson stance, but like I find him compelling. He's hugely into Frankish history. He loves the Carolingians. He can name like every Carolingian king, like up like before Charlemagne. Like he's obsessed with that period of like early medieval European history. Yeah. And so he's a mensch. He's awesome for that. Yeah. We love a history.
He's read Gregory of Tours.
He probably has. Franks. I think he actually has.
Yeah.
I've watched him in interviews pretty convincingly. Talk the talk on that shit. But so he has always responded really well to people being normal to him.
Yeah.
And so all these like bizarre like clips of him being like aggressive, it's always people antagonizing him.
Oh yeah,
because they know that he's like got a temper and like that he'll say freaky shit. But like if you watch like old interviews with people that were like just chill and normal, he was always a nice guy. Yeah. Like he could sit there and like there are all these great old interviews with what the hell is his fucking name? He was huge in the 60s and 70s. Dick Cavett. So Dick Cavett, who is a great interview actually, and like if you want to watch old vintage, whatever celebrity interviews, he's always good. But Dick Cavett was like an Aikido guy. He had like gotten into Aikido during that like 60s, 70s like thing when white people were getting into Aikido. And study whatever traditional martial arts you want, but I think at this point we've all established that Aikido is like no big deal, but none of this stuff is like super effective. But Dick Cavett's talking to him about like, the I understand the art of force, Mike, and all of that, but the 90-year-old founder of Aikido, if you grab him here, he can move and he can shift your weight. And Mike's like, yeah, well, that's all really nice and well and everything, but why would I grab you and not just smash you in the face? Like, he's got all these awesome, like, and the guy's like, ask him all these questions, like, where do you look? Do you ever look like another fighter in the eye? And he goes, no, because his face can't punch me. Like, he was really smart. I don't know. He had like a very cool approach to things. Anyway, that's not what we started
also one of my
about.
favorite quotes of all time is from him. Everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the face.
Yeah, that's an infinitely quotable line. Yeah, everybody thinks and it applies to life. Like, you always think you know what's going to happen until that fucking $5,000 medical bill drops, and you're just like,
exactly.
Oh shit, I am improvident. Like, it's life.
Yeah. Anyway, so we're here to discuss the absolute shellacking that the Democrats took.
I was going to talk to you guys about the Goths today.
Yeah.
I have that episode ready, so I think we'll do that next week. But it doesn't make sense to talk about the old barbarian hordes when we've got very real barbarian hordes at the gates.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so like I said, I was like 55-45 that Trump was going to win.
Yeah.
But like the vibes were very bad on the Harris campaign, which is
the
one of
vibes
the things
were
that
famously bad.
Yeah, and the thing that I kept coming back to was the Democrats spending money on Jill Stein attack ads. Like, that to me was, I think, the real thing that I always kept coming back to. Anytime that you saw anything that kind of looked like maybe, the Democrats were going to do great, I just kept thinking, I was like, yeah, but they're spending money on Jill Stein attack ads who's probably not even going to break 1% in a single state. And so the whole point is I kept going back to that. I was like, dude, they must be really worried. Like, because they're doing that.
Yep.
Like, they're trying to claw back half a percentage point.
Well, and it's like,
or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, if they're concerned about Jill Stein, it's not good.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think that's like a feature of, and we sort of touched on this in the last episode, where like, obviously, this current system is not ideal to either one of us, and we both maybe have different approaches to like what that ideal state would look like. But I would say, and you let me know if you agree with this, that at the very least, since we're operating within the system that we are, this two-party thing, it's so fucked, and especially with the way the Electoral College works, because it actually incentivizes stuff like that, where it's like, rather than, in a lot of countries with parliamentary systems, there are multiple viable parties, more than two, and even if one party is going to, like, quote-unquote steal votes, they don't think of it that way. What they end up doing is building coalitions and saying, okay, we will actually give you seats in parliament, if you block your votes with us, and then you can functionally participate in the system and potentially move forward legislation. And that's not perfect either. Again, I don't think either one of us is going to take some big moral stand for like the European model of the parliamentary system. But one positive of it is that rather than wasting time and resources on like punching down at people that are not actually a threat, you're incentivized to work with them and say, okay, we see that you might potentially be pulling, quote unquote, like in the American parlance, like a vote for a third party is a wasted vote. In most of the world where they have similar systems, it's not a wasted vote. What it does is
you go to Italy, they have like fucking 100 votes.
Yeah, and yes, like some of them are straight up Mussolini era, fascists, but that's neither here nor there. What ends up happening is the big parties like Labor or whatever will see that smaller party is gathering votes, and they'll say, "You want a fucking seat at the table? We want those votes. You can have a couple seats in parliament." And I think that shit would at least be a step in the right direction towards enfranchising voters in a more meaningful way, right? Like, if I'm going to sit here and vote for socialist candidates, which I did, I don't want that to be, denigrated as a wasted vote because I voted for candidates who espouse ideas that I don't feel sick supporting. Right? And likewise with you. You voted for arguably the most compelling candidate in the entire election. And he probably only got like 3 or 4 votes. So
I voted for somebody who I was convinced would not do a genocide with power.
Well, do you actually feel that way? Because you might be wrong. It's flattering that you think that highly of me, but I'm sure I would go power drunk in record time.
January 22nd, you'd be fucking... you'd be opening up the killing fields.
You would get called into my office, and it would be like, "So, Evan, I understand that you have questioned the orthodoxy of my rule."
Cameronism.
You're like, "Yeah, well, I mean, I called you an idiot, but yes, the cardinal sin."
And then I realized that there's a guy that's just sitting right behind me with like a little fucking wire.
Yeah, dude, some goon. Some absolute goon.
Shoulders like as wide as a car.
I would make the new flag piss yellow. But that dehydrated piss that looks like chicken broth.
I bet you would.
Did you see? I sent you a new piss video yesterday. Actually, piss grenade.
Okay.
It's a
Well,
piss
I'll have to
grenade
check it.
tutorial, and for the listener, just so you all know,
I've honestly have started screening your messages that you sent to me.
Yeah,
on
no,
Instagram.
I know, dude. Believe me, I think, and we said this on the show last time. I don't send them to you with the
Because you think
expectation
I'll
that
enjoy
you
them.
will be like, oh, compelling. Like, no, it's the bit
And
now.
so that because you know the sneer on my face I'll have as I look at
the
it.
bit now is you being exasperated. The videos are actually not relevant anymore.
No.
It's the meta has developed. It's past that. But so piss grenade. You want to know what it is? It's a guy. It's the same guy. The guy who does the piss wind and the piss cannon. He's just got a gallon jug of piss, and he says, "Time to do a piss grenade," and he just over the head spikes it on his own floor, and it explodes everywhere.
What the fuck,
Dude?
I can't even imagine how bad
his
that
own
place
floor,
must
dude. People are just living in filth, you know.
Yeah, they are like all of us Americans now.
Typical fucking Harris voter, dude.
Yeah, dude. I mean, here, like, you know, as we see Trump return to power, I mean, this entire era of American politics will be called the Trump era. This is like this is a resounding. Somehow the Democrats got worse each time against Donald Trump. I mean, like he gained way more voters in 2020.
The only person that could beat him,
is Sleepy Joe,
which is insane, dude.
Yeah. I mean,
it's crazy. That's his legacy.
Yeah.
Everybody's gonna dunk on Sleepy Joe for so much shit, but you know what, dude? He's kind of a dragon slayer. Like the one thing he could do, he took Trump
beat
down.
Donald Trump
He
and
did.
then refused to drop out of the race until it was like way too late.
I mean, he
he
RBG'd the fucking race big time.
Yeah, and I mean, here another reason I really felt like Harris had a good chance of losing is because Hillary Clinton was one of her like main campaign runners. It's like she was listening to Hillary Clinton give advice on how to beat Donald Trump. Famously, a woman that did not beat Donald Trump. And Hillary Clinton was going on like interviews.
It's like taking advice from the Mets on like how to win a World Series. Like, don't fucking do it.
I mean, they've won 2 though.
Yeah.
Hillary didn't win shit.
That's true. Hillary's never won anything. Who hasn't won a single World Series? The Brewers.
The Padres haven't.
Have the Brewers
haven't. No, they haven't. The Mariners haven't. The
Mariners
Rays haven't.
didn't, even during the fucking Ken Griffey like fucking heyday.
Dog, this famously they've never even made a World Series.
That's insane because the Mariners have had some fucking good teams.
Yep, they've had some of the best teams of all time and didn't even make the World Series.
They just couldn't pull it off.
Yeah, so I would say it's like taking advice on how to win a World Series from the Seattle Mariners.
Yeah. You know what I think? I think I'm gonna do to get through the next 4 years. I think I'm gonna double down and officially become a baseball guy.
Okay. I've always liked it. So.
No, you're a huge baseball guy, a lot of cool people that I know are baseball guys. I've always liked baseball. Like if I had to pick a sport that I like enjoy, it's baseball. But I think baseball's got some real fucking meat to it. I think there's some room to fucking sink your teeth into baseball.
Yep.
And I think I'm just gonna double down and start like watching games.
Yeah, it's great. It's great.
I'll talk to you off air. You got to tell me how to pirate Sox games because I'm not getting cable. Like I will never pay for that. So
yeah, I can give you pointers there. Okay. But so unfortunately, Harris listened to Hillary Clinton, and Hillary Clinton was doing like interviews and stuff like that in the weeks leading up to it, and it was just like, dude, the vibes were bad. Like she was just like. One of the interviews like asked her like what she would do differently because what did she learn because she lost the previous election, and she straight was like, well, I don't think I actually did lose the election. It was stolen from me. This time we don't have a James Comey around. And it was just like Comey, sorry. And it was just like
Coney 2012. Do you remember Coney 2012? Yeah,
dude? Coney 2012, dude. James Coney Barrett. But yeah, so she's just like, yeah, this time we don't have a James Comey around, and it was just like,
yeah, she's a fucking
hubris, dude.
A bog witch, dude. She's a fucking shape-shifting bog witch.
Yeah,
I do not, as a general rule, buy into the fucking adrenochrome reptilian theory, but Hillary Clinton, if there is one, that bitch is a fucking lizard, dude. Like,
oh, yeah, dude, she's cracking open some baby spines.
I think Bill Clinton may have been dead for upwards of a decade, and I think she's using necromantic magic to animate his corpse.
Dude, I mean, so many good bits, including with Slick Willie. And the weeks leading up to the election, they were like,
Willie.
yeah. And the weeks leading up to the election, they're obviously worried about Michigan, which has a huge, obviously, Muslim population, and the non-committed campaign came up at 100,000 votes in that primary.
Yeah.
Which Harris is going to lose Michigan by less than that. Yep. Just FYI. But in the weeks leading up to the campaign, she sent fucking Richie Torres there.
Dude.
Who is the most pro Israel representative.
That dude is getting
Congress.
Rich, dude.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Somebody needs to fucking audit that guy.
Yeah. Dude, just fucking gold bars in his closet or something.
Yeah, he's probably got straight up Nazi gold.
Yeah.
You know, like from like Israel's stores of shit that they've collected. He's probably got straight up swastika gold in his fucking house.
Yeah. And then straight up fucking Slick Willie goes there. They're like, okay, these voters are maybe not these voters are maybe not completely committed to Harris.
Yeah.
I know. Let's send the rapist pedophile to tell them that actually Israelis are allowed to do a genocide because God said that they should live there and that's their land. Because it said it in the Bible. Like, so they
Which is
get
a
to
very
genocide
true
Muslims.
and real account of the way things went.
Yeah. So it's just like, okay, I don't really think that's quite the right message, and definitely not the right messenger.
Eat what you want while you're falling apart and it open a can of worms. And that gun's in my hand and I know it looks bad, but believe me, I'm innocent. And I'm fearful of flying, and flying is fearful of me. And I covered my eyes when she told me the news, turning me on with my lightsaber cocksucking. Are you coming? 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 Nicotine stain on account of a crutch, and I'm aching from fucking too much. And I know what I do, and it all points to you. Did you sell me to Wanderlust? And I'm fearful of flying, and flying is fearful of me. And I covered my eyes when she told me the news, turning me on with my lightsaber cocksucking. Are you coming? 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 Eat what you want while you're falling apart and it open a can of worms. And my gun's in my hand and I know it looks bad, but believe me, I'm innocent. And I'm fearful of flying, and flying is flying. And I covered my eyes when she told me the news, turning me on with my lightsaber cocksucking blues.
The thing that's always gotten me about that, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not even going to open the can of worms of like getting into some debate about the historicity of the fucking Bible, right?
Yeah.
If you are someone who still believes that the Bible is a historical account of anything, and I mean there are times where it's kind of an interesting historiographical document, right? In that you can do some digging and find some cool parallels or things to kind of examine from books like the Bible, texts like the Bible. But it's by no means a historical text. If you're somebody who still buys into that, it's not worth the conversation, right? But even if you are, right, even if you take the notion that because it is outlined biblically, that Israel is the birthright of a certain chosen people, in the Bible, in the Old Testament, or the only Testament, the Torah, they're not like the native people of that land. They're granted that land by God to go in as invaders and commit genocide and ethnic cleansing, which they do.
So they get to do it again.
Right. So the base, and people don't talk about that. That never comes up, but like the biblical basis for Israel's right to exist is one of bloodshed and violence.
Yep.
but because it comes from God, it's like chill and whatever.
Yeah.
And so it's not even like this is some departure from that narrative. They are actually using that one-to-one as their basis for their actions today.
Yep.
They went in there the first time and they killed all the fucking Philistines and whatever, the other native Semitic peoples of that region. And they want to do that again.
Yep, and well, that's what they had. That's what they had old Slick William do.
Slick Willie will make me laugh and say Slick Willie every time you say it because it's so fucking good.
I know, it's such a great nickname. But yeah, so, and you know, that was their campaign. I mean, this was just like a monumentally incompetent campaign that was run by the Democrats, and you know, you could see it coming. And another thing that really, I was like, okay, what the fuck's going on? So there was the Seltzer poll that came out. This is a pollster that only polls in Iowa, and it's always released in the Des Moines Register. Mm-hmm. And generally speaking, it's like super, super consistent. And so the weekend before the election, Seltzer released the results of a poll which found Democrats at +3 in Iowa. Mm-hmm. A little bit off on the final numbers there. Only about 17 points off, but
because Harris got +20 in Iowa.
No, it was Trump +14.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you saw the results of that poll and thought, oh yeah, this is definitely true, like, literally, I think that you should, like, maybe, like, check yourself into a facility and just get your head examined a little bit. Because, like, I'm sorry, dude, if you thought Democrats were going to win Iowa, you're just, like, out of your fucking mind.
Yeah.
I mean, there was no chance. And yeah, not only did they not win Iowa, they didn't win any, like, battleground state, really.
Yeah.
Like, at all. And, I mean, it was just, the vibes were fucked. And I felt like, the vibes, you know, They were saying something bad for the Democrats. And, you know, I also, I know that we talked about this on the podcast in the weeks leading up to it, but if the Democrats won, they would say, see, we don't need the left. We can just reach across the aisle right, and we can put together a winning coalition that way. And if they lost like they did, they said, oh, it's because of the left. We need to go even further right. And one of the very funny things here is that apparently the whole point that the Democrats tried to do of getting never Trump Republicans, they got like 4% of Republicans.
Yeah, they peeled away
less than 2020.
Almost nobody.
Yeah, less than 2020.
Harry Truman, I'll paraphrase him, but he said it best back in the 50s. Like, a Republican voter will choose a fucking genuine, a shitty but genuine Republican every time over a fucking disingenuous Democrat playing Republican. They will,
which is funny because that's what he was, but
yeah, but whatever. Like, it rings true. Like, they will always smell one of their own.
Yeah.
And if a Democrat comes to the table and is like, well, we actually also like guns, they're just like, nah, I don't believe that. Yeah, I don't believe that at all.
We also want to deport millions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not as bad as Trump does, okay?
Yeah, I trust Trump to do that.
It just comes across slimy. And I think that the biggest issue, I mean, so it's not a hot take to say that at this point in presidential politics, optics are not only the most important factor, but like by a fucking mile, the most important factor. The way that a candidate is perceived, the way that they look, the way that they sound, the way that they speak. And the Democrats are basically playing a different sport than Republicans when it comes to that at this point. Because everything they do, it is geared towards this notion of like, we need to scramble to present as if we believe in something, present as if there is truly a unifying message here. But what they're doing is really openly sending different messages to different groups to try to, right? And
they're not the only ideology that the Democratic Party has is neoliberal interventionism.
Sure. And like a hold the line centrist approach to fucking US politics, right? Like we can't slip too far right, but we definitely don't want to push things too far left.
I'm not sure I agree with that. I think that they are willing to continue to go further right. I mean, I think that they're willing to go as far right as they they can while abutting Republicans. So if Republicans just keep going right, I think Democrats will
Yeah,
just
sure.
keep going
That
right.
may prove to be true.
Yeah.
But at the very least, they don't want to, in a given window, like let's say a 10-year window, appear to be shifting further right. They want to do it at a pace that feels manageable and preserves the optics of being the fucking leftist party or the left-leaning party in the country. When in reality, I think, this race will show that, like, the Democrats, the mainstream Democrats of today are essentially the Republicans of 24 years ago.
Yeah, this is the neocon party now.
Right.
Like the Democrats are neocons that are nominally into abortion.
They
rights.
are center right, which I think is generous, to right. And then we have a far right, like Christian nationalist extremist party.
Yeah.
And even that, I mean, that has been kind of wavering on the right, but I feel like that it's becoming more and more solidified, especially with this Trump win, that that's the fucking grift that's going to work for them. So even Republicans who aren't like ideologically in line with that privately are going to just fucking play that game.
Yeah, it is an unholy alliance between like Christian fundamentalism and Silicon Valley tech money.
Yeah.
That's really solidified itself with the Republican Party's very corporatized structure, and I don't mean corporate as in like a business. I mean corporatized as in like proto-fascist,
right.
if not fully fascist.
So we've been spending a lot of time dunking on Democrats, which I think is fair, and I think.
Well, I do want to say a few more things too, and like I think that
we've been spending a lot of time dunking on Democrats, and we're going
not
to keep
done yet, baby.
Doing it.
I got more shit to lay out, but I mean, like, so this is like one of the things too. Like, obviously, Joe Biden stayed in way too long, but I mean, the Democrats they try to say that they're the party that's defending democracy, but nobody hates their voter base and democracy more than the Democrats. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you go back through this Trump era, they basically just want to dictate who you oinking hogs are going to be voting for. They don't want you to have a say.
Democratic like policymakers have like galaxy gas canisters filled with their own farts and are just taking huge chief pulls on those fucking things. They love the smell of their own ass, dude. They are despicable.
Piss grenades.
Oh, they are.
Yeah, they love their piss grenades.
This election was the piss grenade. They realized shortly afterwards that, this is my own floor covered in piss. Yeah, it is, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, that's because, like, so the Democrats, obviously, in 2016, Hillary Clinton, it was her time to run. I mean, it was her time in 2008, but unfortunately for her, Barack Obama, started a movement. And so she didn't get the nomination. And she fucking eternally hated him for that. Yeah. Like, I don't think people remember, but, like, she straight up said that she wouldn't, at first, that she wouldn't, like, endorse Barack Obama because it's entirely possible that he could get assassinated for being black. Like, she just, like, straight up said that out loud. And she took, like, until, like, late in the summer to finally endorse Barack Obama. But yeah, dude, she just straight says, like, well, he might get assassinated. Like, dude, what the fuck? But in 2016, nobody wanted to run against her. And that's when Bernie Sanders did. And, should have won the nomination, but the rules were rigged for Hillary Clinton. And that was that. And then in 2020, again, Bernie runs. And despite Joe Biden being in clear decline mentally, they realized that he was the only one that was going to be able to beat Bernie, so they had everybody else drop out and endorse him. They forced Joe Biden through, the corpse of Joe Biden. And
talk about necromancy, dude.
Yeah, and I mean, here's the thing, like, Barack Obama just straight up said, he was like, I'm willing to risk damage to the Democratic Party to stop Bernie Sanders. It's like, well, you got it. So, you know what I mean? So Joe
now
Biden
Bernie's
wins.
Too old, so success.
Yeah. But Joe Biden wins, and he has a disastrous administration, refuses to drop out despite being, like, one of the most unpopular presidents of all time. All of the Israel and Gaza stuff going on. He refuses to drop out until he fills his diaper on stage. At which point, you could kind of see this, like, internecine conflict going on in the Democratic Party, where you have Hillary Clinton on one side and Barack Obama on the other. And it really seems like at this point that they're still the leaders of the party. But so it was apparently Barack Obama working behind the scenes to get Joe Biden to drop out. And Hillary was working with Joe Biden trying to get him to stay in. But once he got COVID and it became clear that he couldn't run anymore and he finally was willing to drop out, it looks like Hillary Clinton was able to like secure Kamala Harris as the candidate to go forward. Barack Obama wanted an open convention. I think he mainly supported Deval Patrick, of all people. But Kamala Harris was like forced through. And at first, there's this big swell of support because Kamala wasn't Joe Biden and she wasn't Trump. But I sat there and I was like, Kamala's a fucking loser. She's going to fuck this up. Her problem is always one of exposure. She comes off incredibly disingenuous and just, dude, she didn't even make it to a primary when she ran for president in 2020. Like, straight up did not make it.
Yeah, no, it's baffling. I don't know. I think hindsight, for a lot of people, they're going to start to come around to that. I don't gain any. It doesn't make me feel good to say like I told you so. We've been saying various iterations of that forever, and a lot of people that are sort of in our sphere have been doing that. But yeah, here it is, and it doesn't feel good because here's the thing, right? Like, I'm not like stoked about another Trump presidency either. I think that if you voted for him, you're not a pussy getting person, right? Like if you voted for Donald Trump, you're not a pussy getter. And I don't even mean if you have had sex with anybody of any gender or identity. You're just not. You're just not a pussy getter. And at the same time, Kamala is a fart smeller. Yeah. So you've got like this choice between like fart smellers and non-pussy getters. And what are you going to do? Who are you going to choose?
I'm not entirely sure I'm following that.
Okay, so on one side you got the fart sniffers.
Yeah, far out, dude. Yeah, for sure.
For sure. It is depressing, and it's depressing to see things that you've felt like were happening come to pass. And I tried really hard to be positive about the trends and things and the way things were going, but like at the end of the day, it is going exactly the way that we thought it would go, and it sucks. It's not like, I guess my point is like I don't feel like good being right, and I feel like a lot of the messaging online in like leftist communities is this sort of like righteous indignation, and it's like, dude, I don't know, man, like good for you, I guess, if you're like stoked on being right, but like it sucks, and I think that this would have been the trend regardless of who won. So I think a lot of the fear-mongering about women's reproductive rights and religious freedoms and stuff that's been really aimed at Trump, I think if people are being honest with themselves, like Roe got repealed under Joe Biden, right? Like, so I think that was the trend regardless in this country. But that doesn't mean that it shouldn't still be alarming and people shouldn't still be freaked out. And a lot of people are. A lot of people are genuinely freaked out right now. I just hope that folks, with the benefit of hindsight, look at this and realize like that fear, while well-founded, would not have been like washed away by a Kamala Harris presidency.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There needs to be, if the Democratic Party is going to be like an actually viable political unit for much longer, and it's debatable whether they are currently, if they're going to be an actually viable political unit, there needs to be an actual attempt to return to some kind of like, New Deal era. Like they need to try to actually appeal to working people in this country, because it's clear that like the vast center of the United States is not impressed with the rhetoric, with the way that the candidates present themselves. Yeah. The only people who are legitimately excited about any of these fucking Democratic nominees in the last 2 decades are these like smarmy coastal elites, these Bill Maher seeming motherfuckers. And like
fart sniffers.
That shit, not only does it not fly in most of the country, but it's not even really working on the coasts anymore. If you look at the way the trends were in this election, more and more people swung right in places that are historically, and even places that Kamala won, the margins were much closer.
Yeah. And, dude, fucking Fall River, Massachusetts. A city in Massachusetts voted for Trump. Like, they were like +3. And, if any city in Massachusetts is going to do it, it's definitely Fall River. They definitely would. But, and I think, like, yeah, people are just really sick of the rhetoric of Democrats. And I mean, so like Democrats are basically just the party of well-off, college-educated people.
Yeah.
For income, for people that make $100,000 plus per year, they went Democrat. And like everybody else went for Trump.
Yeah.
And like, and you know what I mean? And like in a lot of states, down ballot Democrats outpaced Kamala Harris by like significant margins.
Yep.
There were ballot initiatives in a lot of states, including red states, including states that went for Trump, where left-wing ballot measures passed, like minimum wage
Well, that's the thing.
increases and
Left-wing
things like that.
policies are historically extremely popular with average fucking people. It's the
Yeah.
packaging. It's who's fucking presenting it.
Yeah, and I mean, like, so here's the thing, like, and Democrats, like, really focused on the wrong things, too. Like, Democrats very much like to tell you, could you please consult the charts? So it's like, you'll have people explaining that, like, yo, bread is, like, fucking $6 a loaf. My purchasing power now is less than it was 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Now,
And I can feel that in my day-to-day life because I'm not a fucking moron, at least insofar as, like, I can
I'm
tell
struggling.
that my money is less than it was.
Yeah, and Democrats
Like-
are just going, but if you would please consult the charts, it actually says that the economy is doing great.
Yeah,
And it's
actually,
like, that's
you're
because
better
of-
off than you've ever been. And any stress you're feeling is just a lack of understanding, and it might be Russian propaganda.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
and it's like,
what?
yeah, I mean, in a certain extent, like, so you know, I've had professional jobs since college, and I've had multiple of them, and I have two different 401ks. Not a ton of money in them, but I do have two different 401ks. And let me tell you, the asset appreciation this year was like pretty insane in both of those. Things like house, like assets, like are like appreciating at huge rates, and so Democrats are looking at these things, which again tend to be things that well-off, college-educated people have.
Yeah.
Not like not like normal working people. And so they're looking at that and like, yeah, but no, everything's doing good. And it's like, yeah, no, but like, dude, I bought a car last year, right? Mm-hmm. Like the interest rates are insane for everything right now. Like I bought a car last year in 2023, and I have very, very good credit. Now, I bought a different car. These are like used cars, not new ones. I bought a different used car, and I financed both these. I bought a different used car in 2016 when I did not have good credit. And my fucking APR was lower in 2016 than it was in 2023 by like 2%. And it's just like all interest rates for like banks just know that now they can just like, oh yeah, we can just like exploit people like crazy. They have no recourse. They need to get this financing, so they will just accept the most like predatory, exorbitant rates. Things like, dude, like I'm constantly getting credit card companies that are trying to get me to sign up for credit cards with like 30% APR. And for like a lot of people, they like desperately, they just need money right now to pay for something, so they're gonna take that, not really realizing that they're putting themselves on a fucking treadmill. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so like you have people expressing these very real concerns, and the Democrats are just going, the charts say you're doing great, so fuck off.
Yeah.
Could
Could you
wow,
please
that's-
stop interrupting us? I'm speaking.
I'm
right now.
speaking.
I'm speaking. And I don't like the way that you're telling me that you feel like I'm wrong, despite the anecdotal evidence that I'm presenting that you're actually fine.
Yeah.
And you're actually
So
you're
it's like-
spoiled. Actually, it's giving spoiled.
Yeah.
That you
and like, are you telling me that that's not a winning message and a winning tact to take? Really?
Yeah,
My God,
people
man. Like,
weren't
dude.
fucking leaping over themselves to vote that into power, and and it sucks that like the main, pipeline that they saw to victory was through fear mongering, which is the tactic both sides, to be clear, have relied super heavily on.
Just browbeating and fear mongering.
Just convince the voter that the other party is actively attempting your destruction and your downfall.
I mean, dude, it is legitimately insane though that like, dude, Trump did January 6th. And the next time he runs, he wins the fucking popular vote. Like, dude,
yeah, dude,
like,
because people. I mean, dude, have you ever seen
That's
Rambo 3, dude?
Yeah,
That's
how
the
much
type of shit
people hate
Americans
Democrats.
like.
Yeah,
People like that shit. They think it rocks.
yeah.
That's like the basis of our country. People are still stoked about the Boston Tea Party, which is like a petulant, fucking, obnoxious act of protest, right?
Yeah.
And at the time, I'm sure there were a lot of people like, well, this fucking sucks.
Yeah.
This sucks ass. I wanted some of that tea, or my job was to unload the tea, or I was going to sell that tea. I was like, no, it's in the fucking ocean, mate. Like, it's and we said, people look at that here and they're like, hell yeah, dude, fucking yeah, dude, just dump it. Fucking dump all that tea, dude. Like, that's our shit. We love that stuff.
To
the one true God above, here is my prayer. Not the first you've heard, but the first I wrote. Not the first, but the others were a long time ago. There are two people here, and I want you to kill them. First, she can go quietly by disease or a blow to the base of her neck, where her necklace is closed, where her garments come together, where I used to lay my face. That's where you ought to kill her, in that particular place. Him, just fucking kill him. I don't care if it hurts. Yes, I do. I wanted to fucking kill him, but first make him cry like a woman. No particular woman. Let him hold out, hold that someone or other might come. Then fucking kill him, fucking kill him. Kill him already, kill him. Fucking kill him, fucking kill him. Kill him already, kill him. Fucking kill him, fucking kill him. Kill him already, kill him. Just fucking kill him. Fucking kill him. Fucking kill him already, kill him. Fucking kill him. Fucking kill him. Kill him already, kill him. Kill him already, kill him already. Kill him. Fucking kill him. Just fucking kill him. Fucking kill him. Kill him already, kill him. Fucking kill him. Kill him. Fucking kill him already, kill him. Kill him. Fucking kill him. Kill him, just fucking kill him. Kill him already, kill him already, kill him. Amen.
Yep.
So, not surprised.
Yep.
If
Yep.
there was a liberal January 6th, it would be
I'm
would be
praying.
hilarious and it wouldn't be badass. So
I'm praying. Yeah, I'd like to please.
I'm sure
the
there will be
liberal
some
January 6th.
people that like turn up
Yeah.
for it. One thing that I've realized is that like the kooks on the
Yeah.
left are not as powerful as the kooks on the right. Like there are like TikTok astrologists and stuff who are like the election's not really over. Like there is a
Yeah.
small degree of that online that I've like
Oh yeah,
been
yeah,
aware of.
yeah. There's definitely a rejection of the results by liberals.
Yes, to a certain extent, but
Yeah.
like their magics are not as strong as the magics of the fucking brain
Yeah.
mages on the right, dude.
Yeah,
Like
Trump's Valhalla ascending supporters,
Yeah.
fucking were just getting their shit rocked. They were getting shot, and they broke into the Capitol building and just shit and pissed everywhere.
yeah.
And like liberals would do like a land back and then just get gunned the fuck down by police.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
Like-
just fucking the beanbag shotgun shells just like
Yeah, just
yeah, it would be
yeah.
it would be very different. Like
Yeah.
the guards are just like, you can't come in here, and they'd be like, oh, okay, that's actually a good point. I hadn't thought of that. So
Yeah.
is just out here is okay. A little further back,
could-
yeah, no, that's fine.
Yeah. Do you want me behind the fence? Behind the fence. Okay.
And again, I'm not like even advocating for that. I think it would be profoundly stupid. I think the last January 6th was profoundly fucking stupid. I think the
it
people
ruled.
involved in that were fucking dumbasses, like smooth brain morons.
Oh, dude, just guys wearing their work lanyards openly.
Yeah, because they just,
And just,
didn't
like-
think that there would be any problem with it.
Yeah. Yep. It was awesome. Yeah, and just shitting and pissing all over the place.
I also think though that if it were to happen in reverse right now, one thing that you would see is that the willingness to respond would be very different from like a Trump White House. I think that they would absolutely not be shy about like throwing people in fucking prison and like prosecuting all the way up to. They'd probably try to throw Joe Biden in prison. So like.
Yeah.
Again, like and that's not even a value judgment about whether that's right or wrong. It's just like to your average voter that smacks of like impotence from the left and like a willingness to be decisive and act on the right. And whether you agree with what they're acting on or the way they're acting, like that's the sort of shit that wins people over. Mm-hmm. You know, they see that and they're like, oh, they're strong, they're decisive, whatever. It doesn't matter that what they're being strong and decisive about is like fascist fucking nonsense. they don't seem like fucking pussies.
Yeah.
And people like that.
Dude, Jay Johnston finally got sentenced.
Who even is that?
He was on Mr. Show, and he also voices Jimmy Pesto on Bob's Burgers.
Oh yeah, okay, I know who he is.
Yeah, there was the funny
post
he
where
was
he was involved in January 6th, right?
Yeah, he just his face was posted by the FBI. If anybody has information on this man, please contact us. And everybody in the comments are just like, did they not know? It's like an actor.
1 year and 1 day.
Yep. Yeah. It took him years to get arrested.
Yeah, man. Jimmy Pesto, dude.
Yeah.
He's got such a recognizable face, and he's tall. So
yeah,
there's pictures, and it's like, oh, that's him.
Yeah. He's got a very square jaw. Yeah.
The guitarist from Iced Earth was also involved.
Yeah.
Remember that band, Iced Earth?
Yeah. Ariel Pink was there. He didn't break into the Capitol, but he was there.
Oh yeah,
for
Ariel
the
Pink.
rally. Yeah. Oh yeah, it was amazing because then fucking Ariel Pink was interviewed by Tucker Carlson and shit on Fox News, and Republicans and all the oinking hogs that love Trump, all the conservatives had to pretend they enjoyed Ariel Pink's music. Yeah, you're big hypnagogic pop fans. Okay, dude.
So John Schaefer, who is now the only member of Iced Earth, because every other member was all right, this dude's a fucking moron, we're out.
Yeah.
Who got sentenced to 3 years of probation. But he's a founding fucking member of the Oath Keepers, dude.
Oh, God, really?
Yeah. Yeah, he's not a good dude. And the thing is, Iced Earth had a couple of fucking rippers, but they were never cool enough to separate the art from the artist. Iced Earth sucks now. Fuck this guy.
Yeah. I still love Ariel Pink's music. I love Ariel Pink. He's great. But...
Do you really?
Oh, I love his music, yeah.
I am not even 100%. I'm sure I've heard it, but
yeah, it's it's just hypnagogic pop. He's famously a piece of shit. A lot if you hear studio musicians who go into the studio with him, they'll be I would go in there each day and literally not even know which parts I was playing or going to which songs, and then he just didn't pay me. He's just he's, and the funny thing is he was a rich kid, which I think generally speaking, when you're able to learn a million different instruments, it's because your family was able to afford it. But so he was famously a really rich kid growing up, and he just is a total scumbag.
Yeah.
And just doesn't like to pay his band members, studio musicians and shit.
That's awesome. That rocks, dude.
Great music though.
Is it really good?
Oh, I love him. Yeah.
All right, I'll have to check it out.
Ariel Pink's Haunted Graffiti, dude. Fucking classic album. One of the best of the 2000s.
Interesting.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Critical reception and legacy.
Yeah.
Yeah, AllMusic said it was good.
Yeah. That's very good.
I'm sure Pitchfork liked it. 9.0 out of 10 from Pitchfork. Yep.
Yeah, that's Ariel Pink is definitely a Pitchfork kind of guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, stupid.
Yeah.
I've always been an AllMusic guy if I'm going to look at a rating.
Yeah.
Because whatever, I don't know. I'm not saying you should care about ratings in general. But, whatever. Some of my favorite shit famously has not been rated well because metal is for idiots. So,
yeah.
If you're looking for depth in a lot of, I'm sure Knocked Loose isn't getting great ratings.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's dumb music for dumb guys.
Yeah.
But
I mean, dude, that's the best kind of shit, like Pain of Truth, shit like that,
it's awesome.
dude. I just love hardcore and metal.
Yeah. It's cool. It's good. Well, so anyway, I know that a lot of people are out there freaking out. I'm trying to... I don't know. I think that community is going to prove to be really important, and I think that hopefully that's something that the Democratic Party picks up on, and that there is a legitimate attempt to move back to, and this is all just wishful thinking. I'm sure that this won't occur, but move back left, come back to the working people of this country, and try to represent, some sort of ideal that is actually worth coalescing around, because they do have the daunting task of attempting to unite a much more heterogeneous voter base than the fucking right do, right? If you're a policymaker on the right, you're just well, what would fucking the literal majority of this country, in terms of race and shit, approve of? Let's just play up that shit. If you're a white Christian guy, like, you'll love this, and it works. Anyway, whatever. I'm rambling. I have to hope that, like, this won't be the catastrophic collapse of fucking, people's personal lives and freedoms that everybody's concerned about it being. And I'm not making that a prediction. I'm just hopeful, and I think that if we focus on coming together and not like looking at our fellow citizens as fucking brainless morons, which is what the Democratic Party has been doing, and start realizing like, no, man, look, the grievances of the fucking working class, the vanishing middle class, the people in the vast center of this country, they're legitimate grievances. And if the only party that's attempting to court them or make them feel heard is a bunch of fucking drooling fascists, something needs to be done about that.
Yeah, if I could give some advice to the Democratic, the DNC, one, stop listening to Hillary Clinton.
She's a loser. She loses.
She's just leave her in the dustbin of history. And two, stop campaigning with the Cheneys. Nobody likes the Cheneys.
Yeah, the Cheneys are evil. Dick Cheney is a far more like tangibly evil person than Donald Trump could ever be.
He is so much more personally offensive to me than Donald Trump.
He is a demonstrably bad person.
He is a demon, like from hell.
Yeah.
Like he crawled out of the open earth.
Another potential lizard for sure.
Yeah, like he is a demon. And and Liz Cheney's a fucking loser. First of all, she's anti-abortion. But the Democrats they made the Cheneys like major campaign surrogates. And it's because they're neocons now. But it's like, dude, nobody likes the Cheneys. Liz Cheney lost re-election because nobody likes her.
Yeah.
People that vote Republican, they identify as Republicans.
Yeah.
And they will, as I heard other lifelong Republican voters in my family say, that they are going to, that they are just going to pinch their nose close and vote for Trump because they're definitely not voting for Kamala Harris.
Yeah, there are so many people that would never vote for a Democrat. Yeah, and the same is not true of like the multitude of demographics that Democrats try to court. There is not the same rabid like. There are people who would only ever vote Democrat. Yeah, but not with the same frequency or rabidity of the never Democrat Republican voter. Yeah. Who would literally vote for Trump despite disagreeing with essentially everything he stands for. Yeah. Just because he's on the right ticket. Like that that's what the left is competing with. So you have to give those people a legitimately compelling reason to break away.
And what you're seeing too is that like Trump basically had the same votes as he got in 2020. When he got the second most votes of all time. It was just the Democrats, their support collapsed because the Democrats always say, well, who else are you going to vote for? Republicans, no, you have to vote for us. And really what they don't realize is that a lot of Democratic voters are saying, nah, I just won't vote. Yeah. Like, that's what happened.
Yeah. And they lost the race as much as Trump won it. I mean, it's
both sides were trying to lose it.
Yeah. I don't think Trump wants to be president. Like that's He doesn't want to pay his legal bills.
Yeah. However, I do believe that the Democrats are just ideologically opposed to the left. And I think Democrats will only win on their own terms and that they do not want to win if they have to build some like left-wing coalition and then may have to do left-wing stuff.
Right, like stop taking insane corporate fucking payoffs and shit. Like, because they love that stuff.
They're neocons. They want to do liberal interventionism worldwide. They want to do the Russia-Ukraine war. They want to do this like war between Lebanon and Israel and Iran. They want to pivot to China. They want to do this interventionist stuff. This is the neocons. These are the same party as the Republicans during the Bush administration. And I guess if I can have just one parting something to help the listeners feel a little bit better, because this has been pretty dour overall, it's that remember that Donald Trump is stupid, he is incompetent, and he is very fucking lazy. And so as long as he can make it through 4 years without dying, hopefully you don't see too much bad stuff. I think the real scary situation is if he like fucking croaks and then we get President J.D. Vance.
Yeah.
Like, that is much scarier to me. Because J.D. Vance is Peter Thiel's hand-picked hand-picked candidate.
Yeah.
And you're going to really see, I think, this like corporatizing, like fascist structure.
The shit that you're worried about with Trump is much closer to reality with JD Vance. But that being said,
JD Vance is cringe and he's annoying, but he's not dumb, and he's clearly quite motivated.
He's a seething white knuckled freak.
Yeah,
who's waiting for an opportunity to actually exercise power, and he sucks. You do not want the fucking hillbilly elegy guy in charge of the country. Yeah. Like that's a spooky guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like dude, he left his mama in the hood. Okay, not a good dude. Like he left moms in the hood.
He left Glenn Close behind. Yep.
Well, that was Meemaw. Yeah, that's a whole different thing. No, but you know what I'm saying? Like, he didn't even fucking lift his family out of poverty. He just left them.
He was just like, fuck you, juggies.
Dude, fucking, and then, like, made a shitty book of lies about them and, like, got famous on it. He's a freak.
Yeah, he is.
Anyhow.
And also a millennial, so, the first millennial and the Chambers of Power, which I was surprised. I didn't think that this would happen because we grew up in the infancy of social media, so we all have pictures out there that we really don't want.
There
to
are
come
some
out.
super funny photos of JD Vance, like from old.
Yeah,
Facebook.
just like passed out on the floor in like dorm rooms and shit
in ladies' makeup.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
You know, looking good.
Yeah.
Looking submissive and breedable.
Yeah. There's definitely pictures out there with me fashioning beer cases into various helmets. Yeah, those exist. So
wasn't there? It was like a helmet and two like robot arms or something. I
didn't have that. That must be somebody else.
Yeah,
I don't know. But yeah, no, we did be taking pictures of us drinking back then.
Yeah, I mean, one of my favorite photos of you, me, and our third buddy.
Is we are all three of us are uncled.
Hammered.
Like
yeah.
Yeah.
You know the one I'm talking about.
Oh, I know.
The couch one. That's a good picture.
With me in the middle and you guys on the other side. Yeah.
That's a great picture.
Oh, I love that picture, yeah. Our friend, his eyes aren't even open. He's just like...
sneering. The drunk sneer.
Don't fucking photograph me.
Yeah.
Oh, those were the days, man. We had some fun with him.
Yeah.
Remember when we made him do like 100 pull-ups because he would do 10 and then we'd be like, that was only 5,
saying,
bro.
no, dude, you just did 1. And he was like, no, I've just done like 20 of these. And we were like, nah, man, you only did like 5.
Yeah, I think you must be really fucked up. But he did them. Like, we got, like, that was when he was jacked. We got him to do a fuck ton of pull-ups. Anyway,
But there was the one night, and I remember, like, we put him to bed, and I walked out there, and he was just, like, sitting up, and he looked like fucking Jack Nicholson.
Yeah.
In The Shining.
Yeah, that was a time for sure.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of good times, and the good times are going to keep on rolling, folks. You know, if you give into the fucking Democratic fear machine, you know, yes, Trump sucks, and you should be worried, especially if he croaks. But again, like Evan said, he's lazy. I think look at every president ever, right? The job ages them so substantially.
Yeah.
Look at Trump. He looked the same when he fucking got out of office. You know why? Because he didn't fucking do the job. He's not worried about it. He's not stressing. Yeah, he played golf. He's fucking chilling. He just needs to survive.
Yeah.
You know? All these people calling for his assassination, now that he's been elected, bad call.
Yeah.
Hush up.
Yeah, like what's that famous whitest kid you know sketch? Super illegal. You definitely can't do that.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Yeah.
Don't fucking do it.
Yeah, you will get a knock at the door if you post that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's stupid. But also, like, you shouldn't even want that to happen now.
Yeah.
Ever. You should never want that to happen. But
especially not definitely now. Don't say that. Yeah.
Definitely don't say that, but especially not now because I mean, unless you're talking about a sort of scenario where they both get. But anyway, but
then you would have like Speaker of the House Johnson. If he still
there's no good. It's the best case scenario is that he makes
it's fascist all the way down, folks.
He makes it through. You just get through it. We just got to get through it and hope that the Democrats get wise and fucking figure their shit out.
Yeah.
Or some other miraculous thing happens, like Evan's, fucking fantasy of a one-party communist state that could I mean, is conceivable possible. But
Yeah. We would need a harsh cultural revolution. Yeah.
So anyway, if you guys like this type of content, please feel free to visit our Patreon, which you can find at www.patreon.com/leftunread. As we've mentioned a few times in the past, there are new policies being put forward by Apple, our lovely, lovely friends at Apple. They're trying to steal your money. So please do not go through your Patreon app, especially if you are using an Apple phone or computer.
Any Apple product.
Any Apple product.
If you're using like an Android or whatever, you're fine. You can go through that.
Yeah. But do not we post the URL in our show notes every week. Just copy paste that into your web browser, which you can do on an iPhone or whatever, Safari or whatever, Chrome, whatever you use, and just go through the browser like normal. I would even say, and we're not 100% sure on this yet, but I would even say don't click the link in our app, especially if you're using like Apple Podcast. Yeah.
Let's see. Should have checked this already. No, I mean it opens up. It'll just open up the web browser.
No, I know. I'm just wondering if they can track that. I don't know how that works.
Oh no, it has to be through the app.
Okay, so just don't subscribe through the Patreon app on an Apple product. Just use your browser, and like I said, we have the link right in the show notes, which I guess you can click, and that should be safe. And if you are already subscribed and you used an Apple product and used the app, you're fine. It's just new subscriptions to Patreon. On that same note, we appreciate everyone that has subscribed. And if you are unable to subscribe to Patreon, we totally get it. Times are tough. We appreciate if you do, but if you are unable to, there are plenty of other ways to support us. We are very much a grassroots podcast. Evan and I are just your fucking buddies from online. So we spread by word of mouth. Please share the love. Talk about us on your Twitter, on your fucking whatever. Tell your weird Trumpy uncle at Thanksgiving that you're gonna have to fucking talk to as he gloats about this, which is my least favorite thing to think about going forward. But yeah, just share the love and in whatever way you're able to. And was there anything else you wanted to add?
Nope. That about covers it.
Fantastic. We love you all dearly, and don't panic. We're going to be okay. We just have to all actually give a shit about each other instead of this fucking dog shit we've been engaging in. And we will see you guys next time on another exciting edition of
Left Unread.
Yeah, that's right.
Vote LU no matter who.
Vote LU no matter who, baby. All right.
We'll have to run a more proper campaign for 2028.
Yeah. You can be president. I'll do vice president because obviously
I want to be president.
You want to be my
I want
VP?
to be chief of staff.
Chief of staff.
Yeah.
Who are we running as my VP?
Spencer.
Buddy, I don't want to be morbid, but it's 4 years and dog years, big guy. Like we're talking about like a Joe Biden situation. He's going to be an old man in 4 years.
Yeah, true. How old is he?
He's 9. So
what?
Yeah, 8 or 9. Yeah. Time flies, I know. I saw him yesterday.
Oh man,
I saw him yesterday. He's still doing good, but he's alive.
That makes me feel really bad about my life.
Yeah, how nothing's changed. Same.
Yeah.
Believe me, I get it. Yeah,
we're in the same fucking position we were in when your dad got that dog.
Yeah.
I get basically. I mean, you don't drink anymore. I've
that's
certainly
true.
calmed down as well.
Yeah, you're pretty good about it. You've. I think that's something I really appreciate. Actually, is that you were one of the easiest people's of the people that I used to like get fucked up with.
Yeah,
you were the easiest one to transition out of that because you were just like, I should probably not do this as much too. I'm like, it was like okay.
I mean, yeah, you would definitely like wind me up too. Like when we were drinking, it was just like. Yeah. We fed off of each other's drunk energy,
and our third friend also was like that with us. We were all it was a self-fueling machine, and we were all very susceptible to the influence of each other.
Yeah,
and I think the fact
it's nice now being able to hang out, and I only need to drink one or two.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's cool. It's definitely cool.
Yep.
All right. Whatever. We should end the show. We love you guys, and we will see you all soon.